think I will go outside. I haven't been outside in forever. Oh man, I just broke that cigarette in half. Not in half, but some of it. I hate tobacco on my tongue. Well, it's the cost of doing business, mister. Let's see. So, I think my glasses are all messed up. I have a couple of pair. I think I lost them, and I'm at sort of the point in age where I need tobacco on my tongue. I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm going to put that out and get another pack or something. But I'm at that age where I sort of are point in your vision career where I need a pair of glasses to find my glasses, you know. I have not been outside. There's a little kid running over there. I need to go outside more, you know. I can get really stuck in. Bunch of kids. I remember my playful days. But I need to get outside more. I get kind of in the mode of staying in that trash. That Italian girl that used to follow me, I don't know if she still does. I don't think so. She said one time, "I even love your trash." I was like, okay. That was the kind of deal where, with her, oh no, don't start coming over here, son. I like kids, but don't push it, boy. What was it? I don't know, it was the kind of deal with her where it was like, she started trying to just slowly, like just like real life, started hurling sort of little barbs and insults at me, and she's got all kinds of problems, and I've dealt with people like that before, so I'm sort of, let me take a little walk. I'm way beyond that sort of thing, you know. That's the good thing about being older. My mom, like, she's with a guy who's just a complete loser, moron, has nothing to offer, but she's in a dysfunctional relationship with him, you know. And it's one of those where they take each other hostage. He won't let her out of his sight, and she sort of won't get out of his sight, and they keep each other company that way. I've been in those, you know. That one Chinese girl and I didn't leave my apartment for like 2 or 3 years, you know. There's a video with me and her. She taught me Chinese and shit, you know. And I actually learned it from CDs, but she was there to talk, you know, speak it with. This is a weird little thing. A blurred area weather map. Dry, sunny, wet rain, rocky, windy, white, snowing. I can be slow on the uptake. I don't get it. Water displacement 40. That's what WD-40 stands for. Water displacement 40. A scientist was working. I think it was, I want to say DuPont, but it's that one that blew up in India, those guys. He was working with that, I think, then. What is this guy? Oh, he's got lures and shit going on. Killer of fish. Right. But might be DuPont. Water displacement 40. Boy, it's handy, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, you know, I was doing a thing with that girl. I don't know if she followed. I don't think so. I think maybe. I'm such a perfectionist. On my vlog, I don't have thumbs or thumbs up or down, or comments are regulated, you know, and I appreciate them. I feel like I know a few people now. I'm kind of a shut-in or something. I don't know. Haven't been well for a long time, you know. And anyway, she as soon as I'd post anything, it used to be, it had she'd watch it 2 or 3 times, whatever. Vlogs, she liked the vlogs, you know. Never commented, I don't think once, but emailed me back and forth. But anyway, she gave me a thumbs up on something, and it just so annoyed me because it just the whole site doesn't have any thumbs up, and now it has one on one song, and I don't mind that. The thing with the thumbs up and thumbs down, it obviously on YouTube, it's I could give a shit less. Haters come through occasionally. I don't get haters anymore. After I got like a couple thousand subscribers, now coming up on 4,000, the respect level went way up. People see it as like, oh, this is a professional thing, and I don't. If they send me email anymore and watch my video and it has 100 email addresses in the thing, I just sort of disregard it because it's not personal. And oh man, just get out. I can't stand tobacco on my tongue. But it's the kind of thing where there's a bench over here. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the kind of thing where it almost always has nothing to do with what's on the video or the music, mine or anyone else's, it's the kind of thing where it just, I mean, I don't give thumbs down. I don't mess with it too much anymore, but sometimes if something appears on my screen, like maybe 10 in the last year, but if something appears on my screen and it's there at the wrong time, and especially if it's an ad or it's just some lie, bullshit in the tag or the title, and it's trying to sell me, like that, I'll thumbs down it, yeah. I have thumbs down a couple of music things that were so close to being perfect, really, I didn't have time to leave in a detailed comment, and I feel like as a professional, it's not being arrogant, I'm a professional music producer, I felt like, if I'm going to give them a detailed critique, a professional critique, I should charge them for this, and I don't have the time. So the quickest way I can give them a critique is just go, look, thumbs down, you're so close to doing something excellent, and then the entire middle of the video is just doesn't make any sense, obviously just thrown in there. And there's a line in the song where it's like the mix falls to shit, But why do people do art, And that's the thing with it. Sitting on a bench talking to myself. I pretty much spent most of my life alone, even around other people, I enjoy people, I love them, but there's such a hassle when you're trying to get something done. Always compromise, always compromises. And but why do people do art, And I've been thinking about that, and I've thought about it for years, but it's the kind of thing where what I think is we want to be understood and on a deeper level, than his words are capable of. And I think even some thoughts are so deep that deep thoughts, it's so easy to fall into cliche and maudlin sort of over sappy bullshit. I really try not to do that, and I don't think I do as far as in my music or even in the vlog, but some thoughts are so complicated that I keep hearing people talking. Nothing new. They're so sophisticated that their words won't do it, imagery alone won't do it, music alone won't do it, music and videos. I think it allows you to, and even they won't convey some thoughts. It sort of allows you to be understood deeper, and it's kind of the thing of, and I think it is, I had one girlfriend who was really brilliant, and she's very successful and a psychiatrist and writer and stuff, and she would always say, what was it? You don't understand me. And she wanted to do art, and acting, and she was, poor girl, she got to Hollywood at 40 and started too late, and she wasn't like wow. She was very pretty, but not wow. And even at 40, she was too old, looking old. Some people just look 90 when they're 20. She was one of those people that kind of looked definitely 40, And anyway, we just want to be understood deeper, and that's the crux of love, really, is, for me, thinking about this whole art thing. It's like we want to do a painting or a video or something to show people, really the deeper thing. And what we're really saying is, hey, understand me, that I'm more than just a collection of skin and bones, and love me. Fucking love me, whore. I've loved before, big time. My first wife, I'm finally putting the idea of ever meeting my daughter away, nicely, because I'm just really intense, and I don't need that kind of damage right now. And she's so much like me. The couple times I tried to meet her, she was so huffy about it, and holds a grudge that, I loved her mom, and it was the kind of thing where I loved her with every fiber of my being, And when I got with her, I really, I never would have left her. I was like, I dedicated my life to her. I never would have left her, and it was that kind of stupid young love, But, I pledged in the inner sanctum of my soul, the very deepest part of my soul, that I would love her and only her forever. I would stay with her forever, And she was so flip when she started sleeping around and screwed all my buddies and disappeared for a year, leaving me with the kid when I was like a young, touring musician. And anyway, torpedoed me for a year, but it just was such a betrayal, and I was like, it was so perfectly heavy betrayal, she couldn't have planned it any heavier. And so nobody wants to hear about your breakups and shit, I'm just kind of free associating. But it was so perfect, because I was so devastated. I was like, why did you do that? Why did you disappear? And then she ended up, just in a really bad situation, was raped several times. And I was so pissed because she left the safety of our home to go play around in the streets, and just be a drug addict. I wasn't an addict or an alcoholic yet, And anyway, she just looked at me with this real flip kind of attitude. She goes, well, shit happens. And I was like, oh, dude, we're not even on the same planet as far as our level of commitment here, There were a lot of other women. I'd almost completely forgotten about her if it weren't for my daughter, Jessie's her name. She looks like me, somewhat. Yeah, she does. She's going to veterinary school, or vet tech. I mean, I dated a vet tech once. There's, it's a whole thing. And, she wanted to sing when she was younger. I'm just sorry I wasn't there. But, it came to a point they didn't want me to call. They asked me not to call anymore. I was 2,000 miles away. It was a hassle. It was expensive. It hurt every time. So I just said, nah. But love, yeah, hey, I got over all that love shit. It's just all a crock of shit. If you can just keep alive in this world, if you can just keep alive and not go insane, you're doing good, The American Indians used to be their worst thing. It's like, don't go insane. As long as you don't go insane, everything's cool. I guess some of them went mad. Must have. They didn't have any TV. Yeah, YouTube's a trip, It gives you these little sort of sublime, just perfect little pictures into other people's worlds sometimes. And I've tried to let people in. What I've tried to do here, I may go 15 on this one. I don't know even where it's at. But what I've tried to do is, there's a guy in Florida that all by himself built this rock thing. It's like rocks that are hundreds of tons. I think that's the thing with them. They're huge. He was able to build it all by himself. Coral Castle, I think it's called. Coral Gables. But people still puzzle at that and look at it. And I've been trying to do, anybody who knows about production or music and videos, I've been trying to leave a staggering and stunning body of work. And I'm real discriminating. In particular, I listened to my playlist a couple days ago, and I'd forgotten. I forget a lot of them. I do them. I lived that song for one day, That's what's kind of cool. You get to live something you love for the last time, too, most likely. Will never again for me some days, And I get to live that song all that day and really just sort of rejoice in it, Like, this is my day for, who knows what song. This is my levee breaks day. This is my highway to hell day. Really live it and feel it, It's kind of like Virginia Woolf said, I think in some of her writings. Somebody said she was Jimi Hendrix with a pen. Jimi Hendrix with a pen, I love people, but most of them are bastards. Look at me. But she said to look life in the face, to see it for what it is, and then to put it away. And then she killed herself, committed suicide. That's a bright little anecdote. But yeah, I like that, Fuck, when I first got sick, I have a disease, they call it the suicide disease. That's why I have to lead this sort of weird, unconventional life, because I just, 16 or 17 years of this has taught me, like, I am not able to really sort of cut it in the real world and do the things that are expected of me. And, I didn't lose any clients' money or anything. I shut my businesses down honorably and bowed out. And I never gambled with clients' money or anything. But, what a deal this has been. Oh, yeah, so when I first had been sick, I got sick in 1996, and I worked until 2006, although I had a couple years in there where I was like, too deep depression, too much pain, or too strung out to even do anything, and get out of bed much. And I decided to kill myself, and I went back home. I grew up on a big, wide open ranch in Missouri, and I had a 12 gauge shotgun sawed off. Cops finally took that from me, confiscated it, and I think they wanted it. My dad said it was a work of art, and he hated everything about me. But he liked that gun. He said, that is a work of art. It was, dude. 12 gauge sawed off, custom made grips, But I took that, and I went out into these open prairie fields, and there's Indian mounds in the prairie, and what they are is there's where the Indians had their teepees. There's perfect circles all through this prairie, and it's never been tilled, It's untilled ground. They made it a national park of some kind now where I grew up, that part of it, It's like a 1,000-acre ranch. I loved it back there, man. Big round hay bales. But anyway, as far as the eye could see, there were all these mounds in the earth. And they were Indian mounds. That's where the teepee was round, and they lived. Dirt and stuff would pile up. And then they also were burial mounds and stuff, But I went out there. I thought, well, that'd be a good place to die. I drove all the way from LA, and I went out there. And this is like in 2001, I think. And I managed to rebuild my business after that and make really good money, a lot. Too much, really, for, And anyway, I took that shotgun out there. I was like, well, this is it. It's been quite a ride, And I had been plugging off shots all night. I had a box of like 50-year-old 12-gauge ammo. There had been like, out of about 100 shots, I love to blow shit up. That's just the way I grew up, we all blew shit up growing up, blasting it. And so I took it, and I put it up under my chin, and there'd been several duds already, and pulled the trigger. Nothing happened, nothing. Not even little sparks coming out the end. And But everything changed at that point, and it seems like I entered some kind. I might have been killed, is what I'm saying, and I entered some kind of level of perpetual hell. And who is this watching me over here? Lady, nice lady. And so anyway, that was one of my theories, my working theories for a long time, because it's weird. And see, I didn't talk to anybody much then. I'd become strung out and reclusive, and so I silently and alone for a year or so, and then I drove back home, and I might have dealt with clients here and there, but not personal, just here, oh good, great, that's great, your edit's done, good, pay me, bye-bye. And but I thought, well, maybe it did go off, and that's the thing. You just, in life, you're here to learn some damn lesson, and you can't, it's like Groundhog Day, you can't die until you learn that damn thing, That's a dark-ass subject, but I mean, it really was scary because nobody was around. I didn't see anybody I knew. I went from there, I drove straight from the prairie fields back to Los Angeles, because I realized I don't want to live here. These people are fucking redneck idiots. And so I went back, but then pretty soon after that, I overdosed myself. Just like, man, when you got this disease, it's kind of like, it doesn't make any sense to live anymore. I've had a good run. No, let's put this fucker away. So I overdosed. I was in a coma in the hospital for like a good few weeks. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, and when I woke up, stuff was even worse. It just seems like I cannot die. I'm thinking there's alternate universes, and there's like other universes where I'm dead and shit, but this whole thing is like the labors of Hercules in this thing, I mean, I'm here, and I'm doing all of this shit, really it's not even, it's just, if anybody knows about like the amount and the quality of the stuff I'm doing, it's like, this is a pretty impressive. It's impressive. The body of work. When I listen to the playlist there, and I forget about a lot of them. I was like, who did that? Is an excellent version of something. I was like, oh shit, I did that 2 months ago. And they're getting better and better, But it's sort of like here alone, never talking to anybody. Yeah. Not only have I become like the Unabomber, a dangerous malcontent, But not really. It is like I've been sentenced to some kind. It's a heaven for me. I love it, and the tools are finally there where I can do anything I want with sound, and it's only going to get better. In fact, automatic. Absolutely, everything will be automatic. You'll get out of bed and go, hey, computer, I want to jam with the London Phil. Set me up with the London Philharmonic and a guitar sound like Metallica, and have it play, a song that's an awful lot like, Heartbreak Hotel, and sample my voice and make it seem like I'm singing that. But here's the kicker, I want, I don't know, any obscure, I want Sean Penn singing in the background, I mean, just insanity's on the way like that, so, but, sundown. I hadn't been outside in a long time, Here's my tip for the day. Go outside is nice. People outside is nice. Go outside more. You have to have a certain level of sort of stick-to-itive, sort of obsessive. Good, 24, that's good. Coming up on like 27 ought to be good for this, but a certain obsessive nature to get anything done recording. For so many years, it takes so long, and I wasn't getting paid, and I was doing it professionally, but not paid for my own stuff, so I was like, oh man, I can either record my own thing and make nothing and have something nobody will, ever listen to except me and a few friends, or I can, rest up and make a couple of $1,000s a day. Oh shit, that much more. At one time I had 8 rooms going, and the room rate was $250 an hour. So on almost all of them, you know, at least 100. So you take that up times 8 hours a day. That's $2,000 a day per room. You know, that's crazy. So yeah, it adds up quick, but it goes quick. Money is nothing. You have to have it to protect yourself from the world, you know. That was something smart old man I knew said. I was actually, when I tried to kill myself with meds, and it wasn't like insanity, it was well thought out plan, you know. I was just like, let me end this damn thing, you know. I'm in a lot of pain. Most people, 9 out of 10 people who have this disease do. But I got thrown in a psych ward after that, and this 80-year-old guy, 85 I think, I was thinking about a lot of things he said, but I get lost. But he said, don't worry about a damn thing, because time wounds all heals. Time wounds all heals. They caught him. He had been a successful guy, and he figured he'd just outlived his usefulness, you know. He's like 85, and they found him on the street with a hose in the back of his truck, you know, stretched up into the window trying to gas himself. And the cops caught him and threw him in there. I was in there a few weeks. Don't remember his name now. My dad was a telephone engineer, so was he, so was I at one time. So, but yeah, it's a damn strange. This is the strangest life I've ever known. Me and Jim Morrison, you know. Gotta have a sense of humor about this shit, and you can't take any of it too serious because it's so absurd. Completely absurd. But I've been trying to leave this body of work because I just thought, what a damn shame. All the thousands of tiny details about stuff I've learned to be lost, you know. And I was pretty much in a room smaller than this in my mom's house. Pretty much didn't know if I was going to make it, you know. And she didn't even know how bad off I was. And I was just like, man, this sucks. To be blunt, you know, or to be quick, that sucks. But I thought, well, there's a certain poetic justice in it too, you know, a certain poetry. But yeah, hell, you get what you get, and just in this life, nothing's fair, but you get what you get. That's just the way the universe functions. Move on, because you'll be dust in a box soon, you know. Really would have liked to know my daughter. She's pretty. She's neat too. She's growing up. She's 27 now. I didn't see her since she was 3, you know. But they just made it so hard, and they kept moving around and hiding her. And her mom, I tried to get custody. Her mom would never show up in court because she was so strung out. And then I got busy. Then I got a business in college, and then I got sick. So, you know, now it's almost 30 years later, you know. They let you put videos on YouTube that you can release in the future. Although Google, if you see a video with me making wild predictions about the future and stuff, the future, it's one of those. If you see it and it's just like, oh, Eric went completely insane, just say to yourself, you know, oh, he's dealing with the future. But yeah, you know, I mean, I went 1,000 years in the future, and I could. But YouTube and Google are going to have to be broken up, and that's so obvious because of antitrust, graft, corruption, everything. So I don't think they'll last. But what I do think will happen is the videos that they have will be archived, even if they're private or not. And at some point, just like, you know, public domain, whatever, they'll be made public automatically 100 years from now because there's no privacy. Who cares? You know, no issues there. But damn. couple of people sub me. I hate it when people send out, oh, it's the same guy, I need to block him. I use the block button more than anything. Some of them send 8 or 10 emails at once, and there's just, you know, if it's nothing I'm interested in, I just block them instead of having a big go around with them. I'm just like, you know what? So yeah, shit, 30, good, 30 minutes and 21 seconds. I guess, you know, that's my damn philosophy. It's like nothing's fair. It is what it is. Fucking deal with it and have a good time, you know, and try not to just keep moving. Try not to dwell too much on stuff, because I hadn't done a good long rambling one in a while. I guess just learn to accept how it is, and with an eye towards what you might or definitely can change and what's realistic. But I've had a good time. I've enjoyed it, you know. I did it my way. I know. I love the Sex Pistols version. I know the engineer. So there you go. 31-17. All right, I'm gonna go 31.